So in this video, I'm going to show you how to prune a hydrangea. I have two big leaf hydrangeas that are 30 plus years old. Anyway, so yeah, pruning these is not difficult, but I feel like people tend to not do too much when they are pruning these. If you'll see like how crazy that one looks, and then how much has been taken off on this one. Y'all, these things, they grow, man. It will not take long for that to be big again. But I mean, I guess you can let them grow big if you have the room. They just look messy. The truth is that I have not ever pruned off entire shoots on this thing. For the past several years, all I have done is just deadheaded the spent flowers. And for a big leaf hydrangea that blooms on old wood, you're gonna wanna do that right after it's done blooming, but you really have a month or two window. I'm doing it pretty late, but all those buds are pretty much on there right now for next year, but it'll still continue to make buds over the next 2 months in zone 8A where I'm at. So yeah, but you should be pruning off like entire old shoots. Like you can see how like old the wood is on these. I mean, the wood on these has been there for decades, literally. And I'm not looking forward to pruning this, but yeah, here we go. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is to take off these spent flower heads. You're not gonna wanna go too far on these. It can create buds anywhere along this stem. As you can see, there's a bud, there's a bud, there's a bud, there's a bud. Those are all the buds that will grow next year and have flowers produced on those stems. Last year, if I go in here, this would have been one of those buds, and then you can see like once spring came, it started producing growth, and then up here, the flowers. Once you've gotten off all of those spent flower heads, this is where it can get a little bit tricky, where some people would be like afraid to hack back, you know, and but you can't be afraid of that. It's just a plant, you know, it'll grow back, but you have to be like willing to really like go in, because it's the only way you're really gonna get the shape. What I will start by doing is going in and removing back the most old pieces of growth. I'm also wanting to get more of that smaller shape. I'm taking it in, so you can see how much more big that is. That's huge. That's like a good like 5 feet, maybe even 6 feet wide, whereas that now is a good like 4 feet, 3 to 4 feet. So I took off a good bit, and you're wanting to keep those new shoots. So there's a lot you take back to the very base. I'm gonna come over here, and the ones that are coming out, I'm just gonna go in, and all these scraggly things, I'm gonna like trace them back and remove them where I know they're coming out right here. Like this right here is all gonna go. So like, for example, this right here, you see how it's like woody? I'll take it back right here, and I'll just trace it, and right there where it meets this new one coming out, I'm gonna cut it, but I might not even keep that new one. And by the way, I'm using a pair of bypass pruners. It's probably what you're gonna want to use. See these scraggly ones? So I'm gonna take all of these scraggly ones right here, the very, very base. And then this one right here, I'm not gonna take that new shoot yet, because that's a new shoot right there. This right here, do you see all this scraggly growth right here? It traces all the way back. It keeps going, it comes to right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it in a little bit and go around in a circle as I do that. As I take it in a little bit, you know, as I go around, and I'm gonna keep coming out, and I'm going to just look at it, and I'm gonna gauge like how I'm doing. These green ones are the ones that I'm aiming for. I'm wanting to get rid of this old stuff right here. However, I'm not just gonna take off every single one. I really want to pay attention to several things. One, how far it comes out, and if I really want that piece to be gone, you gotta kind of imagine what it'll look like if it's gone. Like this one comes back to right here, it's old, I'd want to cut it right there. And if I see that this is coming out like this, there's also, oh, and the second thing you want to pay attention to is it crossing something from the out all the way to the center. But right now we're paying attention to outside stuff. So this right here is just one on its own. And I already know that like this is something I do want gone because I don't want it hanging off here. I'm trying to take out that growth to go in. So I'm gonna come all the way back and I'm going to just cut it right there. The thicker ones are a bit harder. And as you do this over a few years, I mean, this is gonna, and you get better and better at it, you're gonna be able to go a lot quicker. You're gonna be able to gauge things quicker. So don't like think you need to go fast, because you don't. You can take your time with this and go slow, but you can see already I've taken off a lot on the outside here. I didn't film all of that. I kept this right here, but even this right here, you see how it becomes, this is a smaller one and it's new right here. And that's the only one there, but that don't look good. This is an old hydrangea. Ooh. The first one that's standing out to me is like this right here. This just looks awful. So I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna take that. And now you can already see, like, yeah, there's some new growth I'm taking off, but you can already see how I'm really opening it up from the outside in. And I'm at the same time, I'm changing that shape. So I'm really taking it in. You just kind of have to, like I said, you get better as you have really done this for a while. Not so easy when you're holding the camera. See, right now I'm just trying to gauge whether that'll be good, but right now I think I'm going a bit too fast, like this one. Y'all, you want to pay attention to these buds, because these buds are going to determine where these shoots are going to come out. And you can pay attention to that too and really know what the shape will look like in the future. Okay, so I don't know if y'all noticed, like, so I went from the outside in, I went around. This one's got a very vase-like shape. It comes up from the center and goes out and goes out. Which is what you want. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. When you're done, you're taking it in, you're aiming for a shape like that, and that's what's gonna look good. So now back here, what I'm gonna focus on before I quit completely. If you'll see, look into that as opposed to looking into this. You can see you can see through better over here. Whereas this one, you can't see through as well, and it's because of those crossing branches. So what I'm gonna do, and this is where you kind of want to be careful, because you could start going crazy, and I have ruined things in the past. What I'm gonna do is look, and I see stuff like this crossing, and I imagine it's out, but I don't want to take off that, so because it's new. This right here is old, so what I'll do is come back down. I can see where this meets at a junction, and then I want to look at the other ones and see if I went down further than that junction, if it's gonna change it, how it'll change it even more. And this will give it some, if this is gone, obviously it'll give it more room, you know, clearer in there. So that was one of those two. The third one is right here, and this is also one that kind of crosses. So you see how like these are crossing branches. So what I'm going to do is take this old wood and I'm going to go all the way back, and that will be right here. I don't know if you can see right there. And now, yes, it's a little bit crazy. I know that's a lot. It might look like a lot, but look, you see how that like already takes out a lot of that crossing, so you can see through it clearer. So that's kind of the premise. That's what you're going on. And it's not gonna, because these are crossing branches, it's still not gonna affect the overall shape.